They host the Las Vegas Raiders. I really like this matchup for, fourth down Brandon Staley. I call him fourth down Staley because, we all know his repertoire of always going for it on fourth down. So I like this because the Raiders are, they're starting as far as Josh McDaniel being a new coach. Obviously, it's not his first time being a head coach, but it's his first time being with the Las Vegas Raiders. So obviously, there's going to be a first game growing pains. And I know the Raiders are going to be prepped, but I anticipate Justin Herbert and company with that strong offensive line. And I just love the team Tom Telesco's built. And hopefully, fourth down Staley won't mess him up. But with that said, I see the Los Angeles Chargers starting 1-0 with a close victory against division rivals Las Vegas Raiders. Week number 2, they travel to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. I really like the Chiefs in this battle. Like, the Chiefs are always a good team. They always start out good in the, like September. The Chiefs are, you can check their record. Don't fact check me or stat check me or anything like that. But from my eyes, for what I've seen, it seems like from September and early October, the Chiefs are always undefeated. Like, they always start out 5-0, 6-0 in the Andy Reid era. So I anticipate the Chargers to lose a close game in Kansas City, even though they always play well in Kansas City. But I think Andy Reid, man, Andy Reid, you give him basically the whole offseason, he's already cooking up some plays, cooking up some stuff to go against fourth down Staley's defense. I respect the Chargers, but I don't respect Brandon Staley as far as his defensive coaching ability. I really don't think he's a very good coach personally. But hey, neither here or there, I see him losing to a better coach in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So look for the Chargers to start the season 1-1 after week 2. Now the Chargers getting a 3-game stretch right here, favorable schedule. So they start week 3 hosting the Jacksonville Jags. The Chargers are a better team with the Jags. They're a couple of seasons ahead as far as roster building. So I anticipate Justin Herbert to have a big game here, even though the Jags will be feisty. I mean, the Jags are going to be feisty this year. I respect Trevor Lawrence. I have high respect for Doug Peterson. So look for this to be a closer game than anticipated. But obviously, I see the Chargers with them having a better overall roster, better team to come out on top again at home against the Jacksonville Jags. Week 4, they travel to Houston to play the Texans. Obviously, we know the Texans. We don't know where the Texans are. The Texans got a lot of stuff they got to deal with. So this should be a good statistic game for the Los Angeles Chargers, for Justin Herbert, for Austin Ekeler. Basically, if you have any type of fantasy guys for the Los Angeles Chargers, I think they will have a big game, and I anticipate the Chargers to beat the Houston Texans by double digit. Week 5, continuing their streak, they're going into the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson-led Cleveland Browns. Actually, I don't know what the Cleveland Browns are going to be this year. Obviously, Jacoby Brissett is a professional, but until we find out if Watson is going to be out for 12 weeks, out for the season, either way, I think this is a wash season for the Cleveland Browns, to be honest with you. I think their main focus should be gelling and moving into the next year. So with that said, I think the Los Angeles Chargers should head into Cleveland and come out of there with a respectable victory. It'll be a battle now. It'll be a close victory, but they should win that game by at least 3 to 4 points. Week number 6, they host, the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson, the newly Broncos with Russell Wilson. So I don't like the Chargers roster versus the Broncos roster, in my opinion. I think the Broncos are very good as far as in the secondary. Obviously, and the Chargers are very good as far as their offensive skill position in the passing game. So I like I'm more lean towards the defensive side of the ball. So I like the Chargers, and also I love as far as the pass rusher, the edge rushers. That's going to put a lot of pressure in it for the Denver. So I don't like the roster. I don't like the way this is set up, roster for roster, Chargers and the Broncos, and you add in Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. So I see the Los Angeles Chargers losing this game basically because Mr. Fourth Down Staley. Because roster to roster, they're kind of identical in this sense, but when it comes down to it, I know Fourth Down Staley. I don't respect Fourth Down Staley, and Fourth Down Staley is probably going to be the reason why they lose this game against the Denver Broncos. Week number 7, it's a homecoming game. The Los Angeles Chargers host the Seattle Seahawks, and we know the Seahawks are tanking. They're tanking for the next quarterback, whoever is coming out of college next year. So I anticipate a big statistical game for most of the skill players for the Los Angeles Chargers, and I look for a big victory for the Los Angeles Chargers over the Seattle Seahawks in what I call the homecoming game for the Chargers. Week 8, bye week, they get themselves all healed up and prepared. Week number 9, they travel to the ATL to travel to Atlanta Falcons. I think the Falcons will be one of the bottom feeders teams in the NFL. Frankly, they got a hole. I don't know what direction they're heading. I don't think they even know what direction they're heading. I'm not a big fan of their front office decision making right now. I do like Arthur Smith, but that's about it that I do like in that roster. So I anticipate the Los Angeles Chargers to go to the A and handle business and come out of ATL with a W. Week number 10, they travel to San Francisco. I don't like this situation. I don't like them flying from Los Angeles. They flew to Atlanta the week before, and then Atlanta, they got to San Francisco. It's a lot of traveling and all this movement. So I think all that stuff is going to catch up to them late in the fourth quarter. So I anticipate a physical team like the 49ers to wear down the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Chargers to leave San Fran with the L. Week number 11, hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, this is home sweet home, man, because the Chargers have put mileage the last couple of weeks. So this would be a great home game for the Chiefs. And you know the Chargers always play the Chiefs well. It's always going to be one of those games. You know those two quarterbacks is going to be lightning. It's going to be fireworks. But with this, I see the Chargers making the defenses stop, because in this game, it's going to be hard for the defense to make any stop. But I see the defense making that one key stop against Patrick Mahomes, which is equivalent to a W for the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 12, they travel to Arizona to play Kyler Murray. To be honest with you, man, Kyler Murray taking on Justin Herbert. You know, obviously, I lean towards Justin Herbert a little bit. Coach, fourth down Staley going against Cliff Kingsbury. Both of those guys can't really coach, man. Both of those guys rely on the superstar quarterback to carry them. So in this stage right now, I don't like the whole mess that's with the offseason that's happening with Kyler. Even though Kyler got his money, I just don't like all that loud. There's just too much noise going on. So with that said, I like the quietness of the Los Angeles Chargers and the way Justin Herbert handled his situation. So I think the Chargers are going to handle business in Arizona, all in all, because at the end of the day, I think that Justin Herbert is better than Kyler Murray. Week 12, they travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. I like the Raiders in this situation, in this battle right here. I think Josh McDaniels will have the Raiders tighten up. The Raiders are going to be a very, very tightened up team, man. They're going to be a very good team as far as special team, offense. They're going to be a well-disciplined team on defense as well. So that's going to be, at this stage, by this week, I think the Raiders are going to put everything together, and they're going to give the Los Angeles Chargers fits, and I anticipate the Chargers to take an L versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Week 14, they host the Miami Dolphins. It's the Tua versus Justin Herbert bowl. We all know they're going to be talking about this throughout the whole week. Tua is this. I anticipate Tua to also be having a good season, so it's going to be a good talk point leading up to the game. But at the end of the day, we all know what it is, man. I feel like the Chargers are a little bit better roster-wise, and I feel like Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Tua, and that's what it's going to come down to. This is going to be a key indicator, because I feel like one of these quarterbacks going to have the ball in their hand to win the drive, to win the game. I don't know whom, but if it's Justin Herbert, I think he's going to end up winning the game. And if it's Tua, I think he's going to end up losing the game. That's why I think the Chargers are going to win this game, because whomever get the ball last, you know what I'm saying? If it's Tua, they're going to take an L. If it's Chargers or Herbert, they're going to take a W, and that's why I like the freaking Chargers. Week 15, they host the Tennessee Titans. It's just something about the Titans, man. It's like, I remember this game is kind of, you remember last year when the Titans went to LA and they played the Los Angeles Rams, and they just straight got like 10 sacks all over them. Like, this is just going to be those games. The Titans is just, it's just something about them when they play teams like the Chargers. They think the West Coast guys are soft. You know how it is, man. They got that whole soft, they think they're soft, man. They're cupcakes. You know, they got the sunshine and all that. So I anticipate the Titans will play bully ball. I mean, bully physical ball, obviously. And that's why, and I don't think the Chargers are a physical team right now. You know what I'm saying? They're a fake physical team. They're more of a finesse team, to be real with y'all. So with that said, I anticipate the Chargers take an L against a physical team, the Tennessee Titans. Week 16, they travel to Indianapolis Colts, man. I say back-to-back L here, man, because I think the Titans are going to wear them out on the week prior, and then you have another physical game with the Colts. I think by the third, fourth quarter, second half, the Chargers are going to be worn out, and I anticipate them losing. Basically a close ball game, basically just running out of gas against the Indianapolis Colts. So anticipate the Chargers to leave Naptown with the L. Week 17, the Battle of LA. They're hosting Los Angeles, the Rams. This is more of an important game for the Chargers than the Rams. Obviously, the Rams are the top of the football town in Los Angeles. They're the Super Bowl champs, so they got it all right now. So this is like the Super Bowl for the city. So I think the Chargers are going to be a little bit more wound up, even though they're both playing in the same stadium. But I just give the Chargers like the big brother, little brother thing, man. It's like the Chargers want to be the big dog. They got the big dog mentality. Now it's like the little brother is big now. He's grown. So now he got to bark at big brother. And I see Justin Herbert and company and the Los Angeles Chargers winning this game, and for this week being the Kings of LA, baby. And look for the Chargers to win. I bet you it's going to be it's going to be a fireworks game, man. I anticipate a 35-33 or 35-32 ball game, man. Close game, and Justin Herbert being a mega star. And fourth down Staley actually won't be the reason why they lose this game. He's going to stay the hell out the way and let Justin Herbert do his thing. Week 18 at Denver Broncos. This is going to be a tough game right there. End of the season. It's going to be cold. It's probably going to be snowing. It's going to be a blizzard in Mile High. It's going to be an ugly situation from them pretty boys from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? From LA, those LA boys. So I think the weather is going to be a factor, and I also think Russell Wilson is going to be a bigger factor. And I believe Javonte Williams and the Broncos running game. This is going to be a little bit too many Broncos, man. And I think Russell is going to let the Broncos ride. You know what I'm saying? Bronco country. Let them ride over the Los Angeles Chargers. So with that said, I think Brandon Staley is actually coaching for his job this season. He might not know this, but I know in Tom Telesco's office, Tom Telesco knows this, because when you have a roster like this, when you have a superstar quarterback like this, there is absolutely no reason your ass should not be in the playoff. And I'm telling you, Brandon Staley, if this 10-7, because I predict you're going to be 10-7, if that is not enough to get you in the playoff, I think you're going to have a conversation in the offseason with Tom Telesco, and I don't think that's going to end up very favorable to you. So for your own sake, your ass better take the Chargers to the playoff, or you will be looking for a J-O-B. You all know the drill, man. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Like this, love this, share this, and I am out.